Pet Food Alpha.
Hello and welcome to Pet Food Alpha. Nice. All right, I'm gonna start again.
All right.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Pet Food Alpha. We are the podcast bringing you the biscuit on all the latest Final Fantasy XI news, community, and more. My name is Steak.
You said the thing.
My name is Fusionx.
I'm Chinchilla.
I'm Squigglicious.
And I'm Miroku.
Shut up, Joe. All right, so very special episode for you today. We are doing the 20-year anniversary episode for Pet Food Alpha. This is very exciting. My friends!
I can't believe you guys are still alive.
Yeah.
I know,
right?
seriously.
What's it been?
Are we though?
Years?
Can you prove that?
I mean, this might have been recorded 20 years ago and then just put out into the future 20 years from our death.
Psych,
What a
time
plot
capsule
twist.
episode. We dug this up out of a hole.
This isn't new. This is old. This is old content.
Very old.
Like
Very
when a new
old.
Tupac song comes out.
Dude, honestly, there was that saying, right, Sake, that we'll until the servers go down and then we'll do two more. We should have pre-recorded those two more while we were all still doing this.
We should have.
That would
And Final
have been...
Fantasy XI is still going strong. How is that possible? None of us are playing it.
Well, that's a segue into something that we've got coming up later.
We will
in the
get into
show.
that. We're going to talk about
We'll
it.
get into that. We're going to talk about that. For
There's
sure.
there's going to be like 3 people that see this episode pop into the feed that they're subscribed to still. And they're going to be like, what? And they're going to listen to it. And we're still going to give you some news. Because that's what we
give you
do.
the biscuit. Yeah, we're going to give you the biscuit
That's
like
right.
we always do.
It's your
All right.
I am a
average
little
PSA
disappointed
show,
that there was
which
no-
is never
There was
average.
no food.
Sorry, was I
Was
supposed
what?
to cater?
Yes.
Oh.
What was there supposed to be?
You didn't yell the intro. The food.
Oh, do you want me to do it?
Yes.
Jeez.
Pet Food Alpha.
Pet food
Still
clipped
got
a little bit. We'll fix it in post.
Damn
Please
it.
don't. Keep that in.
Your-
Just like that.
Your mic was like, don't yell at me.
Right.
Mike is like,
I
is
tried
this
to be
dude
quiet.
still going? What is he saying?
Is he okay?
All right.
Are any of us?
Emergency services have been notified.
Thank goodness.
I hope not. All right. So it has been 13 years since episode 300, which was the 7th anniversary episode. 13 long years.
Yeah, we hit 7, and then I don't know what happened after that. To be honest, we were weekly for, gosh, years, and then
Many years.
we had
7, 8 years.
a change in the hosting, and somebody that was responsible for the episodes just didn't show up all of a sudden, and that broke the record. That broke the streak. So at some point, we just kind of fizzled out.
Mhm.
But we did a second show. We did Pet Food
We did.
Beta, and that went for a little bit. And that was the last one of those was 9 years ago.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Yeah, we're old,
Guys,
fam.
we're getting old, guys. Golly.
That's true.
Mhm.
All right, so let's move into the first segment, and we'll kind of go through this person by person. So we're going to do where are they now? What are we doing? How are we doing? What have we been up to? I'll go ahead and I'll start. For myself, I've still been playing Final Fantasy XI retail and private for ever since I'm still doing it. Just
Hot damn.
intermittently. Not all the time, but I do go back to retail once in a while and just mess around and get trusts and do all the fun things. And I play 14 as well, intermittently, just kind of on and off. But I kind of also go play WoW, not retail, but mostly private stuff because I don't want to pay Blizzard or anything.
Stay can't decide which MMO he wants to play, so he just kind of
Yeah,
goes in between all of them and hope
video
that none
Give
of
me
them
that
catch him.
transfer steak over the years.
I'm still-
Sampling a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
A little
It's gonna be
bit of
real,
Make
real,
your play a
real
little bit more
awkward.
interesting.
One Saturday
Mhm.
night, WoW 11 and 14 all show up, and they're like, "Wait, he's playing you too?"
I've played WoW and Final Fantasy XI in the same day.
Wow.
That's
We remember.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
WoW or World of Warcraft? Bum
Wow.
bum.
Classic. I prefer classic. I like the old school. I like it when it was hard. You know what I mean?
How is it hard? You're
No.
pressing 3 buttons.
We're gonna talk about that later.
Are we still doing phrasing?
Phrasing? What do you
You
mean?
liked it when
What's
it was
phrasing?
hard?
Settle down, Archer.
Okay. So, but yeah, no, yeah, I still play 11. In fact, I'm doing a Horizon experiment right now. So
Nice.
that's fun.
I've enjoyed Horizon.
Yeah, good stuff.
What even is that?
It's a private Final Fantasy XI server.
Oh.
But it's Chains of Promathia level, so like before Treasures of Ottergon, so it's hard. Back to the old school when it was hard. I like pain, I guess. I don't know.
It's true, you do.
Yeah. So I work as a Cisco telecommunications engineer for a living. And one of the things that I do is I use my voice to make phone menus. So, you get you call someone and you get my voice saying, "Thank you for calling XYZ. Press 1 for this. Press 2 for that."
Wow.
That's kind of awesome.
That's like me using my PFA experience in my professional life. You understand?
Yeah.
That seems perfect for you, man. It
Yeah,
really does.
seriously.
I actually really love this job. It's like the best thing ever. I'm very fortunate to say that I really enjoy what I do. It just keeps me very busy.
Nice.
The next update that I wanted to give you was that the baby in the drawer is 19, going on 20 this year,
Oh my
and now is
God.
an old
Oh my
grown
God.
man who has his own career in IT, which is really crazy.
That's nuts, dude.
And in fact, my
Yes.
youngest kid just graduated high school a couple weeks ago. So now I don't really have any kids. I just have bad roommates that just don't contribute anything, and they just
Stop eating
all
my
my-
food out of my fridge.
all my groceries. Yeah. But the world is tough out there. It's expensive, so I don't think they're ever. I think they're always going to be here. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yep.
Just one day at a time.
One day at a time. But that's all for me for Where Are They Now? How about you, Fusion?
I'm still here. I'm the only idiot dumb enough to keep podcasting this whole time. Nothing's really changed for me.
No, you're not an idiot.
Good
You're
news.
not passionate.
We finally got our Final Fantasy XI developer interviews. It did happen after the podcast stopped.
Timing.
Yeah. My first one
It
was
like
going to
the day
be
after it ended.
No, it was years afterwards. My first
Okay.
11 dev interview was going to be at PAX East in 2020.
Oh, wow.
Well,
So that
we all
didn't-
know what happened in 2020.
So that didn't happen. PAX went on, but they canceled the dev's appearance. They canceled the fan gathering that was going to be the first Final Fantasy XI event on NA soil in like a decade. Yeah. But right now, if you listen to PFA, chances are you probably heard about our Final Fantasy XIV podcast, Aetheryte Radio. That is still ongoing. We will be celebrating our 16-year anniversary for that in August. So
That's crazy.
Heck yeah, man.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
crazy.
yeah, so I'm still very much around and doing the same kind of stuff. Additionally, over the last 10 years, I've been doing manga lettering. So if any of you guys are out there read manga, there's a chance that you may have read something that I helped work on. So
What does manga lettering mean?
so like you have like a comic, right? And you have like the little bubbles and the sound effects and stuff.
Yeah.
I do the letters for that. I put the letters in the bubbles and I do the sound effect styling. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I got into that job. If any old listeners remember our buddy Taken or Tyken, however you wanted to pronounce that, Him and his wife do that, and so I got
Is it like
into that.
translating or like?
No, I don't translate. I get the translated script, and then I work off of that.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
So you're like a graphic designer of sorts.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Wait, Fusion question. So between Aetherite Radio and Petwood Alpha, are you like the person that has appeared on the most Final Fantasy related podcasts ever?
Oh, probably.
Gotta be.
At this point, yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sweet.
I'm
I'm
gonna
old.
tell you, Fuse, like a few years ago, I think I even messaged you on Discord. I figured out how to even turn on a Discord. Like I was driving a lot for work, and I was like, I wonder if these fools are still podcasting. And sure as shit, like, pardon my French, there's Fusion talking about Final Fantasy XIV, and it was like being home. It was awesome. So don't think you're weird or lame or whatever for still doing it. It means a lot to people.
You literally just called me a fool when you were talking about.
Well, you're my
Hey,
favorite fool.
At least she's
I mean,
consistent.
all right, that's something.
Aw.
That's something at least.
Yeah. I think you're many people's favorite because you're still doing it. You're
Oh,
still
don't
doing
go inflating my ego like that. Don't do that.
it. I'm from Boston. You won't have an ego in about 10 minutes, so don't worry. I'm just kidding. I'm teasing.
God.
All right, Chin, you're up. How about you? What have you been up to?
Just working, man. Living in Virginia now. Moved for work. Got a partner, a couple of stepkids. Life's crazy. Yeah.
Playing
crazy.
11?
Actually, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, like before I even heard about you guys wanting to do this, I loaded it back up and started playing a little bit. And I was so confused. It is a completely different game. Like completely different.
You should check out.
Still, I will. I
It's
like all,
old and it's painful. And
I don't know. I like the easy because it feels like I actually do something rather than just try to get to a teleport crystal.
Starting
for
out
6 hours.
Horizon is so hard. It's so slow. They give you
Yeah, I
10.
don't know if I can handle that. But I've been having a lot of fun playing that. Just
Good.
I'm in like not Rhapsodies. What was the last expansion?
Well, so Seekers of Adeline was like the last big expansion, but they did do an extra story, which is what is that?
The Voracious Resurgence.
That one, yeah.
Oh, I haven't even heard of that yet. I'm still doing the Seekers stuff, but just trucking along. I do
It's good,
definitely resub to 14 after every major patch and play all the content. Just again, it's so like that. You know, it's like a friend. You know, you don't have to play it every day anymore, which is weird because I was definitely playing way too much back when we were recording consistently, or when I was anyway. So it's good to be able to come back to it every few months and enjoy it for what it is. I miss you guys. I miss hearing your voice.
I miss you too.
Yeah, this is great for me because I haven't heard a lot of you in a very long time, so I'm
I know,
just
it's
sitting here
surreal.
happy. Just listening to you guys talk.
I joined this chat channel and I heard Squig for the first time. I was like, "Yeah, it's Squig!"
I know, it's like a throwback, wicked. Going back in time.
The back of everybody's mind is that Robin Williams scene from Jumanji. What year is it?
Yes, exactly. All right, cool. Squig, you're up. What have you been up to lately? What are you doing?
Well, as far as gaming goes, I'm heavily into Final Fantasy XIV. I'm a big I'm an officer in my free company, which was basically what link shells were in Final Fantasy XI. And we have link shells in 14, but that's a whole other can of worms. Anyways, so I've been helping out a lot with the Discord and helping with events, and I've been running Endwalker mount farm raids for my group, and it's been a lot of fun. We get to get new mounts, and it's different actually speaking in voice chat all the time in a game as opposed to using a keyboard as your primary communication method, but it works for us, and it's almost to the point where it's like keyboard. Who wants to do a keyboard? Why are people typing things? Just get on Discord. No. I haven't gotten on 11 in a very long time, but I have a friend of mine who's in my free company who's like, you need to do this. Come over here. Come over here. And he even gave me step-by-steps on something that's supposed to make the game look better. I haven't tried it or looked at it too much, but I'm thinking about possibly doing that. Maybe even getting into a private server, because I've got a couple of friends that have been in private servers as well. Personally, I retired from the Army in 2019 after doing 20 years. So if that kind of gets you... What's that?
I said, well, thanks for your service.
So I retired about 6 months before the world changed and things got crazy. I'm still trying to figure out how civilian. I worked for a company for 5 years and then got fired out of the blue. Still trying to figure out what the heck happened there. And so ever since then, I've been doing gig economy, Uber Eats. Most of my income comes from my retirement benefits and stuff like that. So I don't have to worry about things like putting food on the table and making sure that we have a house, but I do have to worry about all the other things because I had my own Taru baby in drawer. He's 12 now and he's special needs, so we have a lot of appointments and tutors and other things because we want to make sure he has a leg up on life, but we still want him to be a kid. He's been home for summer break for the last 3 days, and I can't wait till he goes back to school. So that is me in a nutshell. But I mean, my kiddo and my hubby are my life, and I keep that when things get a little bit too confusing and crazy. I remind myself I retired primarily to spend more time with my family, and I am doing that. So that's a good thing. But I mean, the world is crazy, but I just keep on ticking. And me and Oshi are still married, going on strong. We celebrate 25 years in October. So
wow.
Yeah.
Only 5 years longer than Pet Food Alpha. Crazy. That's just the metric I use to measure everything from now on.
Yes, facts.
I mean, it's funny, you know. I use that as a metric too. I guess I failed to mention. I also am married now. Literally got married on the anniversary of our podcast, the 10-year anniversary. Funny enough.
You nerd. Your nerd is showing, and it's not flattering.
It's also my mother-in-law's birthday.
Adorable.
But it makes it really easy to remember dates, and I'm terrible at doing that usually, so it helps.
That's awesome. All right, Joe.
Is me.
Miroku.
So I haven't fallen out of any chairs lately.
Okay.
Which is a big improvement for me. Very happy about that.
Congratulations. That's huge.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm super humble about it. So like Fusion or Segmented? No, it was Fusion. Stuck around for Pet Food Beta with Vivi for a bit, and we co-hosted that between 2014 and 2016. And in prep for this, I was like, oh, I wonder if like there's anything on like, the various Final Fantasy wikis about like the podcast. On the BG wiki, I was described as, quote, a frequent guest and punching bag on this podcast. So
Wow.
That sounds right.
Wow.
Pretty accurate.
Right. That's about right. Yeah.
Following
and
that,
you were
'cause I think-
Charter also, so that meant you were a
Easy
compact
to hang up
punching bag.
on a hook.
Oh, exactly. It was a little
Exactly.
football. Yeah. But apart from that, because I graduated college in 2015. So while we were doing Pet Food Beta, and then after that, I kind of cobbled together a career in marketing. I'm working at a toy company right now, doing a lot of stuff on the YouTube end and whatnot. And I fell into that after I was a Star Wars editor for a listicle site for a couple of years, and then AI kind of changed all of that a couple of years ago. So
AI.
What is a listicle site?
I think like Reddit meets BuzzFeed. I'm not going to say their name because.
Oh, okay. No, I get
Yeah.
what you mean. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then game wise, I've been playing mostly like D&D and tabletop stuff because I spend most of my work days on a computer and I like to not look at screens. which I consider personal growth. And then when I do play video games, I'll do like Retail 11 occasionally, and then like I'll do Horizon sometimes, and then 14 and WoW because I have a friend that works at Blizzard and I get a free subscription. So yay!
What?
Yeah, and I've kind of really been into Marvel Rivals and Pokemon Champions like this past week. So
Awesome. All right, Fusion, you're up, sir.
Double dipping. So Julie couldn't join us today. Julie, going by Dell now, did join us, however, on the 297th episode of Eighth Right Radio, where we talked about some of the Echoes of Vana'diel stuff. And I think it was a partial live letter recap as well. So if you want to see what Dell's been up to, you can check that out.
Excellent.
Shout out to Dell. Heck yeah, man.
Yes.
Sweet. All right, so let's do some news. We got.
I
some
like that
news
it
here.
keeps cutting you off when you go too high.
I know. This guy is too loud.
Is it Discord that's doing that to me?
It might.
Probably.
It's the
Yeah.
man. The man's always holding you back, man.
All right, I'll calm down then. I'll do it calm. All right.
Ooh.
So we're gonna
Let's-
just to get everybody caught up, because again, it has been a while since the last episode of Pet Food Beta, so we want to just catch everybody up. Ambuscade has rotated 103 times. We won't get into the details, but I'm sure you can look them up if you're interested.
Yikes.
The Fusionx world has been closed to character creation. This is the 4th world that they've closed over the last 12 months.
This is really interesting.
that's wild.
I read an article that said that they were surprised that the character number didn't drop the way that they had anticipated, and that the community is staying strong, and it's stable, or people are coming back. I don't know. Is that kind of a trend? Are we seeing people like flooding back
Yeah,
to
I
people?
came back after probably like 15 some odd years.
Yeah, there
Just-
was.
I also
uh,
think Echoes of Vana'diel had a huge something to do with people wanting to actually see Final Fantasy XI and be involved with it as well.
That's a good point. A good point.
Yeah, they there's been a few interviews over the last few years where basically they say, after they did Adeline, they were going to basically monitor the numbers, and if they dipped below, a certain percentage, they were going to probably call it. And then it didn't, and they said, oh, okay. So then they did the Resurgence storyline. And they were, again, okay, we'll see if it dips a little bit after this, and it didn't. And then they said, well, shoot. So then they had to update their server infrastructure a little bit and get that updated, because they were still running on the older hardware. And they're doing a lot right now. We joked a little earlier about finally getting interviews with the dev team. I had one. It's actually just about a year old to the day now. And I asked Fujito-san. Yoji Fujito is now the producer director. Matsui stepped down a while ago. And I asked them about plans for preservation of 11. Like, we've had lore books and stuff for Final Fantasy XIV. We've had a lot of different publications for 11 over the years, but those have all been in Japanese and exclusive to Japan. But what he said is there's no concrete plan for like preservation, like an offline mode or what they're going to do, but what they are working on right now. He says that we have an enormous library of assets, source code, and reference materials, which we've been making easier to reference should there ever be a project to recreate Final Fantasy XI. For example, our graphical assets like 3D models and textures are made with proprietary specifications, so modernizing these assets into standard formats is something that we've been working on with relatively high priority.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, Fusion.
I really loved some of the answers that we got. We also talked about
Cool.
some of the old I don't know if you guys remember, in the DATS there was like an old unused map that had like the train on the rail.
Mhm.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. It was a really good interview, but go make sure. I mean, again, it's like a year old at this point, but there's a lot of really cool, interesting things in there. So make sure to go check that out over at gamerscape.com. Kind of tied into that over the last year or so, we've also learned that the team is now learning how to use Maya and Blender because the dev kits are done. The dev kits have been done, have been on their way out for years. And they're like, it's time. And so they're learning, they're learning different tools now so that they can make new assets in the game. And the biggest project right now that they're working on is they're going to be working on going through all of the zone IDs in the game to see if they can free any of them up. And if they can, they're going to start a new project that will include new zones.
What? Here we go, guys.
You know, that's kind of interesting.
They tried to shut this down in like 2015 or something. Like they're like, all right, we're stopping console support. Here's Echoes of Vana'diel. And all of a sudden we're like, we're not leaving. We're still here. And they're like, oh, well, I guess we'll see what we can do.
It's kind of interesting because didn't they like in retail they redid all of Limbit, like it's a completely new event now.
Yeah, they took out Limbus for a while actually, and they redid it. It's now like an open zone that you can go into and fight.
So kind of like what Dynamis became, right?
I haven't done Dynamis Divergence, and I haven't done Limbus, so I don't.
I'm talking about like the old.
Oh, that's right. They opened
Dynamis.
up. I think I still haven't done that, but I think it is like that, where you can just kind of go in solo and work with whoever's in there to do stuff. And so
can you bring Trust into Limbus?
You can in Dynamis.
No.
So maybe.
Okay.
Maybe? Question mark.
The old new Dynamis, not Divergence. So
yeah, Divergence is basically like classic Dynamis, but like higher level cap and stuff. I think, right?
Yeah,
it's like what Dynamis would normally be, and then they put safety wheels on the older Dynamis zones, so you can just go in and whatever.
You don't need a million gil item to get in there anymore.
I think it's like based off of like capacity points or merit points or something that you do.
Okay.
And you spend those, I think.
There's gonna be like one person that's still subbed to this feed that's like still super active and 11.
Yeah.
We're gonna get one comment on this episode. It's be like these people have no idea what they're talking about.
Look, this is just like Final Fantasy XI drunk history. Oh, actually, wait, we should totally do that. But still, it's like Final Fantasy XI drunk history.
We should do that.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I'd be down to do that for sure.
Yeah, the last major update to 11, they added they basically increased like the level cap settings for Besieged. So that was a big thing they did alongside of the Limbus stuff, and then also now you can upgrade the stats of your trusts. And they're hoping to implement an equipment system for them soon that'll be similar to like how you would use Puppet Master and equip your automaton.
Heck yeah. That's cool.
It's crazy that all the stuff
really
is
like
still
the
done.
trust system.
And I think
Like,
too,
honestly,
yeah.
in Horizon, you don't get that, and it's like that's one of the things that you really miss. Is like I would really love to have a trust right now.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's important
like
too.
A quality of life improvement.
All of these things that they're doing right now with 11. I mean, the last time I'm trying to think, we did an interview, gosh, 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And I think at that time, they told me they had we heard that there was 11 planners on the team. So they are bare bones is I don't even think the right.
It's not very many
description.
people.
But they don't even have a dedicated engineer on this team anymore. Like whenever they want to do something on a somewhat decent scale, they need to wait until an engineer is available from some other team that they can pull and do stuff with.
That poor guy.
It's crazy that there's
no kidding.
It's wild that they're still operating, and they're also operating under these circumstances. Give them a budget. What are you doing?
I mean, how much does it cost to run this game when you think about it?
Well, and it less because they upgraded their server infrastructure so that it would be less intensive, and it's new, more optimized hardware. So like, it's not costing them as much as it used to, and they've closed 4 worlds. Like, and it's not to say that they're not doing anything, right? Like, we might get a new expansion in some capacity, right? You know, it may not be to the same scale like as Adeline or Ottergon or something like that. It might be more like Voracious Resurgence, right? But like new zones, like that's something that they're actually like
content. Period. You know, like
crazy.
anything.
Is this a situation where we think that like the number of zones is capped at like 256 because, you know, games in the 2000s or whatever?
I mean, it very well could be. It's definitely
The
because
zones
of
are so huge too. I forgot how big they were.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely.
then I had to run across one. I was like, okay, I don't know.
And that's with increased movement speed too.
Somebody give me a chocobo.
You walk Goosterberg back to Bastock, and you're like, oh, this is so long.
Yeah, just jump.
The music makes it worth it.
It's true.
That's one of the things I do miss. Those level 1 races.
Minutes.
Some of the things I do miss, those level 1 races from your starting zone to Juno.
Yes.
That should have been the raid. That's the entire raid. You just level 1. We recreated like 3 to 4 zones.
You either make it or you don't.
First one there gets all the drops.
Exactly. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
To the victor go the spoils.
That just reminded me of, I think it was FanFest 08. They had a race where everybody was a Taru and they had to get to a certain point in Mamook at level 1.
Yes. And it's crazy that you're bringing this up because I got sent a video the other day from Tyken. He found an old tape and was able to digitize it. It is, in fact, us from FanFest 2007. And it's me opening up the gobby bag, exclaiming how much I hate all this stupid sponsored bull. Crumpling up the NVIDIA SLI poster that was included because NVIDIA was a sponsor, but the game didn't support SLI. And then the other like 40 minutes of this video was that Taru race through Mamook.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm not joking.
That's incredible.
So this, I'm gonna awesome. At some point. I hope I can get this edited. I guess that's another thing too. I forgot to mention. I haven't touched it in a while, but I did start a new website. It's called FFMMOarchive.com, where I'm just kind of dumping a bunch of old stuff, like history stuff for both 11 and 14. Stuff like the very first batch of like assets from 14. I found the original press release for Play Online. That's up there now. Wow. There's some wild stuff out there. I also found like was it part of the press release, or I found some kind of other PR blast, and when I opened it in Word, I could toggle it and see what the edits were that were made. Like, what? However the file was saved and uploaded, I'm like, whoa, all right,
oops,
that's interesting. And I pulled that one from archive, so anybody could find that. But yeah, just stuff like that. Obviously 11 is important to all of us, and so it's always really interesting to go back and see the history and what kind of led to 11 and what progressed from 11. So if that's something you're interested, check that out, FFMMOarchive.com, and hopefully at some point I'll find more time to be able to throw some more stuff on it, including that Taru race.
Yes. I just opened it up. Is that the mobile version of 11 that is no longer a thing?
Oh yeah, no, that I guess that happened since now too. 2021, I think officially they canned the MMMRPG. Last we heard about the project, they were looking to try and get a card battling system to work as like their combat, and it didn't go over well. And they
like Chain of Memories, kind of.
I don't know. My guess is maybe it was a way to partially monetize, but I don't know. We never heard a lot about it. There was also a big like portfolio leak from one of the artists at one point too, where we saw some more like area zone pictures and stuff like that. And I mean, it looked like a nice upgraded 11, but didn't happen.
I seem to also remember that there was something else that they looked at monetizing also, but I don't even remember what it was. So it looked like it was going to be more of a let's try to get into your wallet than classic Final Fantasy XI.
Well, and you do have to remember it was Nexon. So that was that. I mean, we also had Final Fantasy Grandmasters, which was the other mobile game that did release. It never came out to NA. I think it reached version 2 in Japan before that was shut down. And now we have Final Fantasy XIV Mobile, which launched in China and is doing so badly that the team doesn't even have their equipment to do streams anymore because they reallocated that stuff, and they're not even considering a global release, last we heard. So that's going well for them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think
well, the last something about how they wanted to monetize. They wanted to only give market board access to subscribers.
They did some weird monetization stuff. The last big oopsie I heard is that they introduced housing and they messed up the initial lottery, so they had to redo it. So multiple people won plots, and so they basically had to take it away from everybody and redo it.
Oh wow!
Wow, housing issues in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah,
who would have
what
thunk?
a concept.
Yeah, wild times. So maybe it's better that the 11 mobile didn't work out. So.
Helps to preserve our good memories.
Yeah, true.
Speaking of good memories, oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I guess maybe we'll bring this up later, but I guess do you guys think that there could ever be some new version of Final Fantasy XI that would capture even a fraction of what it was in the 2000s?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
It was a different world. It really was. I'm not just talking about Vana'diel. I'm talking about the world in general.
It was a different world. Like the game was different, but also the community was different because if you remember, when back during the NA release, most of the players were still Japanese. So we were trying to communicate back and forth with Japanese players. And that brought us together because we had to use auto translate and we had to figure it out.
And I mean, games tell you where to go for quests now. They don't just kind of casually say it's probably in this zone, and then you have to go and spend an hour in that zone to tab around and try and find a question mark on the ground.
Right.
So I just reinstalled 2 weeks ago or whatever. Was there always a mission and quest tab in the menu there is now in 11? Is it exactly the same?
It's different now because they have those little sub quests that you can get rewards from. I don't remember what it's called exactly.
Right, but I mean just
Records of Eminence.
the quest of
That's it, yeah. Records of Eminence is new, but the quests and missions were always there.
I don't think I was smart enough to ever open that up to do a quest. Because now I open it up and I'm like, oh, I can just go over here and do this quest and it tells me where to go, or it gives me at least a name, right? But I remember always just looking at the wiki and never looking at that ever.
Yeah.
I never even thought to. I was like, wow, I'm either a meatball or they added this, and I don't know which is worse.
Yeah, I mean, and that's
Nice.
probably one of the biggest changes. I think that not a lot of people think about the idea of back when 11 was in its prime. The way that you progressed was by having to interact with other people. And these days, now 14 is so handholdy, for better or worse, that there's really nothing to encourage joining. A link shell or a free company or anything like that to get people to work together to do stuff. And so, as much as I would love just straight up one-to-one, new graphics, maybe a slightly tweaked interface or something, nothing is ever going to be 11 like it was back in 2005, Ottergon era.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. No.
Ottergon came out. That was so exciting.
That was the golden age.
Unless you were a black mage.
Yeah, true.
Unless you were a black mage.
Yeah.
So many puddings.
Great time for Dragoons,
so many
though.
Puddings. Oh, good for yourself.
Great time for Dragoons, indeed.
Mm-hmm. I spent all this time putting merits into this job that is going to make me make big kabooms, only to get those big kabooms blasted right back into my face. Fun times.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine at the time that was a black mage, and they succumbed to the RMT because they could not get invites because everybody was doing colibri burns, and nobody wanted a black mage.
And dragoons were great at colibri burns.
Yeah, we were. I remember getting my ethereal earring. I was soloing colibri. Sub-blue
that was
mage.
the one where, like, if it hits you, you get MP back, right?
That was like, it gave you like an MP refresh, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Going to like where people would just like normally like do parties and just like soloing stuff was like the best feeling. Those were the days. All right. So other news, we have a whole section for this. So something else that's happened, actually just wrapped up a couple months ago with Final Fantasy XIV patch 7.5, the end of the Echoes of Vana'diel raid series. So this was announced back at the last fan fests that they did. I think it was the European Fan Fest. And gosh, was that London maybe in like 2023?
Yeah.
So we had three sets of raids. Now here's a question, because I know me and Squig have done these, and we have our opinions. And we spent some time on Aetheryte Radio before these raids even came out, talking about what we hoped to see from these raids and how, canonically this story could connect and work with 11. What would you all want to see from an 11 raid in Final Fantasy XIV?
I mean, I watched
about us that don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, that haven't seen it. Ooh.
My answer, of course, is not what we got, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did each of them like once as they came out, and they were like, hit you in the nostalgia.
Oh yeah, they leaned into that quite a bit.
Yeah, but other than that, it was like, I don't remember this being that important, or this Galka does not look like a Galka. Like, what is going on here? Yeah.
Like Castles of
I felt like I
I
slipped into another dimension or something, which, is fitting,
Castles of All would be cool as a raid, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be kind of dope.
Shadow Lord was the first concept art that we saw after they announced the raid series. So we did get Shadow Lord.
Or like
he was the final boss of the first raid.
Yeah.
Like a Dynamis themed raid somewhere.
Yeah, here, we do have we're largely recording this audio first, but we do have a couple slides here just to give some visuals to people that haven't seen some of this stuff yet. So if you're listening to the MP3, Gamer Escape YouTube will have this available as well. But here's a picture of the Shadow Lord. You'll notice a few things in this screenshot. This is supposed to be the throne room. It doesn't really look like the throne room. They took some liberties with the design. The Shadow Lord, we talked about how Galkas didn't look like Galkas. This Shadow Lord has 5 fingers. Galkas in Final Fantasy XI had 4 fingers. This is also not the Shadow Lord's correct armor. Of course, he had armor in Wings of the Goddess. This is not that. I don't know what these are. It looks like somebody took like a frosting tube and just tried to draw weird swirly nipples on them or something. I don't know how else to describe this. But yeah, this is not the Shadow Lord.
Someone was like, I approve. That looks great. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want.
And at Food Alpha 20th anniversary special, Shadow Lord's swirly nipples.
There you go.
Yep.
Yikes. What's with the loincloth too?
Yeah, that's the most confusing part for me.
Yeah,
because like that implies that like the Shadow Lord has like some big pipe, but clearly the
I mean, look, let's be honest. We all know deep down Shadow Lord. Like, let's.
Well, yeah, but it's probably like an innie, not an outie. Why would you need a loincloth?
I'm so uncomfortable.
Why wouldn't you need a loincloth?
I'm just saying they had the armor set right there. I don't know why they just didn't reuse it. It's so strange. It's such a weird decision.
Also, why is there sky?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if it was like a dislocated throne room in, say, the Walk of Echoes, cool.
So
that would maybe make sense.
here's the thing with these raids that right, they're called so like this is Juno the First Walk is what they call this. So that means it has ties to the Walk of Echoes. And right, the whole so the more or less the plot is that this expansion introduced Mamulja, and there and like you actually go to Mamuk in this in Dawn Trail in 14 now. And there's this basically like Mamulja sorcerer that wants to find a vessel for like his king, which is like a two-headed Mamulja, right? So he wants to like bring this two-headed Mamulja back to greatness or whatever. And he stumbles onto this like portal that takes him to Vana'diel, and he's able to use the big Dawn Trail MacGuffin, which is called Electrope, which is basically just like a supercharged like energy cell kind of thing. And he's able to use that to power what they're calling echoes. And of course, right. And again, go back and search some of the older pre-Dawn Trail Aetheryte radio episodes. Like I made like charts and images and everything, like theorizing how this works. But more or less, like the Walk of Echoes is basically like a big gel that kind of holds all the different versions of Vana'diel together, right? And so that's what he connected to. And so he's able to pull out these like failed versions of Vana'diel, right? And turn these into echoes, which we then navigate and fight against and stuff like that. We never actually go to the Walk of Echoes in this raid.
Nope.
It would have been cool. That would have been a cool concept.
Yeah.
You use walk in each of the titles.
Yeah.
And no Walk of Echoes.
Yeah, it was right there. I don't even think they mentioned the Walk of Echoes.
You were close.
Maybe
you
once.
You were so close.
If that,
yeah. I think they maybe mentioned it once, if even that.
Yeah.
I don't understand the styling choice there, because like in 14 in the past they've done pretty good collabs. You know what I mean with other stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it's so bizarre. So we talk about like how there's like a sky right in this screenshot, whereas like the original throne room is closed off.
A building.
There's also
a castle, you know.
Yeah, there's also a fight against Alexander in the undersea ruins, right? So that's cool because they didn't actually announce that fight prior to release. So as you're going through, you're like, oh, cool, Alexander, which means Ragnarok was included. Awesome. There's no Odin involved. The room that you're in doesn't have like the astral candescence. It doesn't even have like a skybox that has, it's not underwater. It's not above water. It's just like, again, like this weird kind of like shaded gradient that gives Walk of Echoes vibes. But again, it's not like they never say it's the Walk of Echoes. We don't see the Walk of Echoes. We don't see like the giant Atomos from the sky. It's not actually the room where you would have fought Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
There was actually an interview with Fujito-san on the 14 blog. I think it was like last week or the week before, talking about the raid. And he says, quote, "Characters were also faithfully created, especially their equipment, so adventurers who cherished them in Final Fantasy XI wouldn't feel like something was off." Bro, what?
Somebody dropped the ball. Somebody dropped the ball hard.
So wouldn't feel like something. The entire raid felt off, my guy.
Everything.
like the whole thing felt off. What are you talking about?
I had fun during a few fights, but it's just like you're sitting there. It's like, why? You spend most of the time asking why.
Yeah, like it's you go up to like Sky, and all the buildings have this kind of like weird additional like texture on them, which is like, I'm like, it was just Cermet. Like it's nothing that like, complicated. Like, what do you guys?
I can kind of forgive that sort of aesthetically because it was like, you know, everybody's favorite phrase, PS2 limitations from like preventing like the amount of detail that would be on like say a Zilart structure.
Sure.
Yeah, add that into this. I think like the liberties that they take with say the Shadow Lord and making him, you know, look like that's the bigger issue than like environmental stuff. Because like from what I remember, like because I think I'm like 93 or 83. What's the cap in 14 now? It's like
we're at 100 now.
So I'm like
Dawn Trail,
cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like 93 or something. I'm on like the third zone. From the videos I've watched of the raids, like the first one seems pretty good, and then just kind of goes downhill from there. environment-wise, it seems pretty good. I guess, like, is it just like the face characters that they kind of gave like the biggest overhauls to? Like,
Well,
how
so
does
they-
like Prish look by comparison?
Yeah, I mean, so they part of Dawn Trail was they did a big graphic update, and so a character like Prish is all the newer, updated graphics that are being used, right? And then you have this adventurer kind of like fill-in character. He's got all the updated graphics, with the exception of his armor, which is the old Koenig set, which was introduced, I think, back in like 2.0, in like 2.0 patch cycle, and that didn't get upgraded. That's a whole other thing with Dawn Trail, where they did this graphic update, but not everything got touched by launch, right? So they're still going back occasionally. Like each patch is like, okay, we've updated the graphics for this armor set, and it does kind of feel like one of those projects that they'll just never be done with. And so, yeah, I think you can forgive a little bit of the texture stuff. There's in the second raid, you go to Quiffim for half a beat before kind of like being slingshotted up into Delkfoot. When they released the image of it, and people are like, "Is that Delkfoot? Is this Fei Yin? Like, what is this?" Because you go over this giant chasm to get into Delkfoot. I'm like, that's not how that was like at all.
That's not what Quiffim looks like.
And then the scenery within that part of the raid looks more like something akin to something like in a Beatles video, with all it looks like the developers were high at that point, because it's just like all these colored rainbows, and they're just like, what is this?
Oh,
this is not Quiffim.
There is light weather that does pop up in Quiffim, though. So
That's
maybe
true.
they were trying to.
And I think that was one of
the
things that people were kind of like, when they released that, they're like, oh, well, that's probably it. And I'm like, but it doesn't.
It's psychedelic.
It's rough.
Well, not light weather. It is straight up psychedelic.
Yeah. Well, and then they showed us Sandoria is the second raid. So the first raid is Juno, the second is Sandoria. And they showed us the picture of like Sandoria with the chateau, and it's like, Chateau didn't have that kind of roof. Like, that doesn't look anything like the Chateau in 11. And it's weird because other people like instantly recognized it, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, the hell is this?
I had Cinderella's castle vibes when I saw.
Yeah, no, they definitely like Disney-fied it a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see what else, but there are some really fun references.
Do you guys think that they thought it was just like, if they used the old textures and they used the old roof, that it would just be boring for like in Final Fantasy XIV? It would just
honestly, yeah,
boring.
Because it
could be.
So they're like, we need to make some swirly nipples, or else this
well,
is going.
Well, here's the thing, like, so, and I'll try not to get too deep into this, but basically the way that I theorized that this worked, right, is that this character, this like sorcerer, is basically pulling failed versions of Vana'diel out of the Walk of Echoes, right? Because if you've seen like any new like Marvel stuff in like Loki or Deadpool and Wolverine, they have like the Void, where like the failed stuff goes to. That's kind of like what the Walk of Echoes is, right? It gives you access to it's the in between. Right. And so he's just pulling this stuff that like doesn't exist anymore because it was like from a failed version of, or a fallen version of Vana'diel. So like if you go by that premise, all this stuff looks off, and that's because it should be, because it's not our version of Vana'diel. Now, they don't really do a good job of explaining that. And I think if you're doing a raid that's based around nostalgia, you want to get that accuracy a little more correct.
Right.
But this is what we got. I mean, there's,
that's why people are resubscribing to Final Fantasy XI, is because I want to see Delkfoot's Tower actually looks like.
Yeah, I want to see what the game actually is, and remember what the game actually is, because this is not it. There are other cool references though, like you fight Fafnir in the first raid, and if you like look behind him, there's like a riddle, like the sword kind of like in a log behind him. Like that's
and
cool.
all the data's come out. That was pretty good.
Yeah, like that's really cool. You can find like little journals, things to read as you're going through all the raids, and one of them, when you get to Sky, is this guy saying, "Today is the day I'm finally going to get those goddamn pants from Byako. I can feel it." Like little stuff like that. Like that's cool.
There was also my favorite reference is when they were running around Tulio Lol. talking about different facets of Vana'diel, and somebody was talking about getting the items for the sub-job quest. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, there's like there is a lot of attention to detail in some of the text, but some of the
And not just like the game itself, but the things that the players like to reference.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought that was kind of cool.
There's an
That
echo
they really went into the old school. Oh my goodness, can you believe this crap from a player's perspective?
There's like an echo in the Juno zone that's like shouting for a Mia teleport for 1K.
Aw.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's some good stuff. There was also a really cool thing in the last raid where you fight Promathia. And so like one of the thoughts of the raid is like maybe it's just kind of like a Final Fantasy XI like greatest hits. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, here's some of the cool fights you had. Promathia, I think, was one of my favorites because they actually do a bit where
Whoa.
Yeah, right. So you
cool.
it splits the arena into 3 chunks, and each of them is representative of one of the Prometheans, and you can actually see one of the towers behind him.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's a way for them to represent that expansion. Like there's the blue glowing circle there. You're actually fighting memory receptacles here.
That's cool.
Like that I think was the fight that impressed me the most.
And they have a knockback mechanic you gotta watch out for too.
Yeah,
so
like they did.
I was feeling a lot of nostalgia during
this is
specifically.
I'm looking at like the texture on the ground, and that is so cool.
I think just in terms of like feel and nostalgia, like this is what every fight should have been of something of like this level. And of course that takes place at the Imperial Paradox, so you can look down and see Quiffim. You can see Vana'diel underneath you. After that, you do fight Shinryu, and if you look, it's a weird arena, but if you look kind of like down and to the left, you can actually see Altair on the moon underneath as well. So like I appreciate those details. So things that we did not like, we'll get to the So here, let me pose the question for Steak, because I know you haven't done this, you don't know anything about the raid. So knowing the story, right? There's this Mamul-Ja sorcerer that wants to find a new vessel for his 2-headed Mamul-Ja king, right? What do you think the final boss of the Final Fantasy XI raid is?
A fight with a 2-headed Mamul-Ja king?
You're close. It is the 2-headed Mamul-Ja king merged with Shinryu.
Merged with Shinryu.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why? Wait, how?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we'll remind everybody. Shinryu was the combined form of Promathia and Celsius. So he's already a joined being, and then somehow Shinryu then eats the 2-headed Mamul-Ja and becomes whatever the this is.
We're just making stuff up.
The best part about this too is if you look kind of like through the graded floor, he's just like standing, like the animation for this model.
Why does he have legs?
He's standing on nothing. There's nothing there. He's just kind of like float standing. Like there's nothing. And this was the final boss of the Final Fantasy XI Nostalgia Raid series.
Okay, so to be fair, we're only seeing a still image here.
Sure.
In the raid, is he actually flapping his wings? Is it believable that he's actually
his legs are firmly standing the whole time? Yeah.
Oh man,
it's weird.
Like,
I mean, it's like for me, it was like I don't know. I was too busy running away from shit to notice.
I wiped. And I was stuck at like before you like jump onto the platform. So I had like a far back view of it. I'm like, this is just this is ridiculous.
Like, why not merge him with like the 11 version of Cloud of Darkness? Like that at least could make maybe more sense.
Well, and here's the other thing, right? You talk about an 11 raid and all the different things, and and I even called this before it released. It's like you're not going to hit every note. You're not going to make everybody happy. But
but they're making new notes. Why would you do this?
But like they don't even do anything from Wings of the Goddess or Seekers of Adeline.
No.
and they introduce Prish in the first raid, and you're like, oh, okay, so maybe they're gonna do like they'll do like the first couple years, they'll do like a Promethean kind of story, but then they throw in Alza and Alexander in this last year, and it's like, oh, all right. It was very much all over the place. Like
somebody called it a Temu besieged.
That was me. It's funny.
Yeah.
So you go one of the fights. You go into what they think is a representation of Alza, and you do like what's kind of like a makeshift like besieged, where like they just funnel some guys in, but it just like it doesn't feel good. And I called it the Temu Alza on air a few weeks ago. And within 30 minutes, this is technology now. Within 30 minutes, I had an email in my inbox from Temu asking if I was interested in a partnership.
Oh my god! What?
Wow.
Here's what grinds my gears about that. Right? So they did Labyrinth of the Ancients for the first like 24-man raid in Final Fantasy XIV. You could do that with Besieged real easy.
Yeah.
Why are they so afraid of trash pulls? Like
I will give them kind of. So in Dawn Trail, they also introduced they have like a troll beast tribe now, which is the same trolls from 11, right? And so then we also have the Mumblejaw. So the Besieged was then the Lamia and the Undead and that set. So they gave us something new there at least. The voice.
Did Chimera at least show up?
Yep, Kimmy showed up. Medusa showed up. Maybe not the voice I would have chosen, but that was also the case with Shadow Lord and Prish as well.
But I mean, of course, you're going to have plenty of people who play this raid with no context. But for those who are just playing 14, the last time they saw the Lamia was in Heaven's Ward and Oz's Law.
Oh, that's right.
And here you are, and here you are adding them to a besieged raid, and they're like, why? Why are these things from Heaven's Ward making an appearance now?
Refresh me, was that the same model too?
I didn't really look very closely at the model.
It probably would have been.
Probably.
Because they were initially in second coil, right?
Oh, yeah. They might have been in a coil.
Because
they were in second coil before that.
Because in 14, they were made by the Allegans.
Yeah.
With like weird alchemical
That's right. I forgot all about that. I was giving them more credit than I should have there. But I mean, in the context of Dawn Trail, that was the option. Otherwise, it's why are we fighting these good guys?
Right. These guys help us.
We're buddies with all these. Why are we fighting them in this weird portal?
But these good guys also do have bad guys that we do fight in 14. So it's not like that far.
At the same time,
that's not a stretch of the imagination.
They could have done a Wings of the Goddess campaign kind of thing instead.
I mean, it's hard because like
I would have shot my computer screen.
There's so many things that they could have done, right? And it is easy to just sit back here behind the microphone and be like, well, they could have done this, they should have done that. This is what we got.
Media.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we got.
Makes you wonder if they actually got any input from anybody who played Final Fantasy XI. Because I don't think that's what this. So I mean, you would have thought so, but you play the raids and you're like, really?
Well, so
I mean, you might have picked and chosen a couple of characters that look cool, that would look great with the better graphics to fight, Final Fantasy XIV style. But it's just like, really?
Here's what I would say. I think it's probably a decent no-brainer to say that there's probably a lot of former 11 people on the 14 team. But you also have to remember too that with Dawn Trail specifically, they had a lot of budget issues with Dawn Trail. They had a lot of resource issues, a lot of bandwidth issues. Yoshida talked about.
When Dawn Trail came out, it got really poor reception.
Yeah, they've been having a lot of issues, and it doesn't help that Yoshida's been pulled on to other projects while he's been also trying to helm 14. A lot of bad decisions have been made this expansion, and I've been very vocal about that. And I've taken two hiatuses from podcasting about 14 because of it. But that's all to say that. I think there are people that do care about 11 that are still working on 14 and that are, giving input and stuff like this. I think the reality is that all the things that they wanted to do, they didn't have time for, and things were greenlit under the circumstance of we don't have a lot of budget to spend. Which is unfortunate, because with something like this, you're gonna have a few groups, right? You're gonna have the groups that are the diehard 11 veterans, where they want to see anything and everything. They have certain things they want to see. You'll have people that know a little bit about 11. You'll have people that know nothing about 11. If you know nothing about 11, these raids are confusing as hell and they don't make any sense. If you know a little bit about 11, it's probably fine. But if you're a veteran, I think you're looking at this raid series and you're just going, oh.
Yeah.
These are things that they decided to do. So one of the other things that they did. So we mentioned that the first raid is Juno, the first walk. The second was Sandoria, the second walk. The third is Winders, the third walk. What's missing from this sequence? Anybody?
The best city, Bastock.
Yeah. So
The fourth walk.
there's no Bastock. So they included 2 of the starting cities in Juno, and they literally just completely shoved the other starting city to the side. And that was a decision that they would have had to made early on as they were planning, all 3 of these, and to get kind of the broad scope of what this raid looked like. That was a decision that they made to exclude one of 3 cities. Boy. And so not only did they just
whole point of Final Fantasy XI is the work that we did
cities
together, all 3 cities against.
And the thing is that we have the Galka, who most of them have made their home in Bastock, and you have the Hume, who originated from Bastock. So you have 2 out of your 5 main races that originated in Bastock, you make absolutely no mention except a stupid.
Well, that's okay. They messed up the Galka anyway. They gave him an extra finger.
I mean, yeah, there's that. Too.
Boy, you could read into that in a lot of different ways. So here's the other thing.
That's where the tail went.
Late in the raid, Shantoto pops up, and she talks about how when she was going, through this space, there was a half-made Bastock. Shoddy work at best. The echo of a certain engineer could have built it with zest. His absence meant that there was nil guilt in laying the city to rest. So not only is Bastock not in the raids, Bastock is not included in the adventurer framers kit and portrait stuff you get at the end, but also the mention that it comes up.
As a bone.
Yeah, the one time it does get mentioned is Shantoto's like, yeah, I saw this one Bastock. It looked like shit, and I blew it up. Like, who hurt you, Square Enix? Like, what? What?
So here's something that's kind of funny.
If you look there,
because if you look at how it says, where it's like the echo of a certain engineer could have built it with zest, didn't you just say that the lead developer on, for this expansion was working on other projects?
Lol.
And they're just passing blame off to the other dev that wasn't there.
There's like one engineer at Square Enix that knows what we like to refer to as the old code. Yeah, it sucks because obviously I'm from Bastock, right? So looking at this stuff, one of the things I'd want to see is it'd be cool to see Bastock. And then not only do we not get Bastock, it gets shocked by Shantoto.
Well,
and then
Shantoto has sorrow in her eyes in that picture. She's like, I'm sorry.
She's not sorry. She's not sorry. But yeah,
she's wishing you were there when she blew it up.
Yeah, I wish I was too. That way I could have at least been there.
I will say this one picture right here convinces me that an upgraded 11 would do really well, because that looks way better than Lalafell. Way better.
Yeah. I mean, the character model.
Well, if you look at
look really good.
Character model of a Lalafell next to a character model of a Taru, they're completely different.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just, Tarus are better.
Yeah, the Lalafell definitely have kneecaps.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Echo of a certain engineer could have built it with zest.
Sid. They're talking about Sid.
Yeah.
Our good old
Final Fantasy XI bad cheap Sid.
Yeah.
I love how they missed the opportunity to have bad teeth sort of Fuggo Sid next to hot daddy Sid in 14.
I just want to put a walnut in that thing's mouth and just chomp, that's what Sid was. He was a nutcracker. He had the Nutcracker teeth.
But he was our Nutcracker.
But he,
we loved him.
but he was
That's
our
right.
Nutcracker engineer. Oh gosh. Yeah. So we do this. Also, the gear rewards were
Oh,
very hit and miss. So like prior to this raid, right? You're like, okay, they're doing an 11 raid. I want gear that I earned in 11, right?
or gear that I
yeah,
wanted to earn an 11 that I never had the
Yeah.
opportunity to.
Yeah. So the first tier, the entire first tier was Archangel gear, which
All black.
they actually added to 11 like after that. Like you couldn't even get it in 11 until that point. So it was like already I'm like, okay, this is like mascot gear, and it's stuff that you couldn't earn in 11. So like that's all right. And it also
wasn't the original Archangel gear in 11. Wasn't it just like recolored AF though?
No, it was. I think it was its own unique stuff, but it was all very like samey, right? Because they matched, right? So it's all like it felt like the near raid again, where it's like here's black clothes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you could dye them, but and then the second set was better, but it was also still like mascot gear. So you had gear based on characters. So you had like Zeed's armor. Lilith's Dancer armor, man. Like, so I played Dancer in 11. That's I was Samurai, Dragoon, and then I mained Dancer for the rest of my time in the game. So when I was like, oh sweet, I can get Dancer AF. The problem though is because it's mascot gear, it's tailored after that mascot. So it's basically the female version of the AF, even on male characters. It's like I was so close to getting something I wanted.
Get your freak on. Wear it. Wear it anyway with pride.
But it's
like
but it's
Fusion would like that. We need to do it the other way.
yeah. And so there was that. There was also like Prish's gear, and then I think like Shantoto's gear, right? Which was based on like like the kind of like the classic like low level like robe, right? So
yeah.
But still like mascot gear, not stuff that you would normally get in 11. They finally fixed it in the third tier. They gave us some
Except
AF.
they didn't really fix it.
Well, yeah. So here's the thing, right? You think about like a game like Final Fantasy or any like fantasy game, right? They picked what are like the you want something unique, right? Something that's like, hey, this is a really cool thing from this raid. But what they gave us were 2 paladin sets, 2 red mage sets, a monk set, and 2 thief sets. So like, okay, so like we have paladin gear, like that's a dime a dozen, like heavy armor, whatever. We have red mage gear. The monk is just like a gi. And then like thief is probably like the most unique thing, but still there's this problem specific, especially to me, where none of these are jobs that I played.
Why not do like the generic multi-job gear, like the sky set, or the assault gear, or like
so it's interesting.
That was what we were wanting.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people wanted, and they have some of it in the game already. So like the Koenig set is in the game. The Ares set
Scorpion
from Salvage
harness
is in the game. Yep, Scorpion Harness. The Kieran's Asode is in the game. Like they could have done.
Folk.
Yeah, Vermi is in there as well. Like there is some stuff already, and I don't know why they couldn't have done other sets that we had. It's
hell for the healer set, do a Noble's tunic.
Yeah,
everything else
they could have
generic, but just like
they could have. It's just it's very weird, and I don't understand the thought process behind it because
Final Fantasy XIV as a whole is lazy when it comes to armor design, because if you look at the maiming and the fending sets, they're basically mirror images of each other.
Yeah,
casting
the benefit we did get
healing sets are mirror images of each other. And so when you play something like a caster and a healer, you're going to get the same set of stuff, just different colors.
Well, the benefit here though, it is AF1 and AF2. There's a little changes between the sets. So it is.
Right, so my white mage
gets
to gallivant around in red mage AF.
Right.
Like that's no excuse, because I mean, again, look at like Labyrinth of the Ancient. Every single set was totally unique.
Yes.
No, they copied the caster and healer were just color swaps.
Well, because there was
that would have been kind of cool.
Were they?
Yeah, they were.
For the very first raid.
They will never make gear that's just, specific to like cast. It's the same with the maiming gear.
Yeah.
They could have done like the 3 Nations Akitons.
Yeah. Well, and
You know what I mean?
they could have done
Well-
they could have done the Samurai AF. There's it's funny because Final Fantasy XIV's version of Tenzin uses that 11 Samurai AF. Like there is a model of it somewhere in the game already.
Yeah.
But they didn't pull that and retool it. Yeah. I wanted my home moms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted my home mams. So yeah, I mean that's
I would have liked some Morrigan armor on my
yeah.
on my character.
There were so many other options for things, and it's funny we talk about how the Ares set was already in the game. There's an NPC that they have in Juno. Juno's like a zone that you can access outside of the raids, just as a kind of like a launch pad for the raids. And you can go in, and there's a character that he basically his job is to explain all the things that you just fought in that raid in case you have no idea what those enemies were. He's wearing full Ares set. So like you talk to him, he's like, I got this armor from the Alzadal Undersea Ruins. And I'm like, I've had this armor for like 10 years, bro. Like what? What are you talking about? It's very weird. It's very weird. And the last thing I do want to bring up. So when you finish the raid and the quest, they show this screen. We'll leave the light on.
Okay.
How do we feel?
Much like Toy Story 3, I feel emotionally manipulated.
If you're not subscribed to both 14 and 11, you're obviously doing something wrong. Give us your money.
Here's the thing. I still pay for 11 out of guilt for playing for private servers, but like, if they like make the game good or like, more accessible for people to try it out, sure.
All right, so to be fair, going back to the news where Fusionx was talking about the interview, it sounds like they're doing a little bit more than just leaving the lights on.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong. Yeah. And I think, this it's weird. Like I appreciate the sentiment. And like obviously they don't mean this in any kind of malicious way. But I think if I had to pick, I would have said, we'll hire dedicated engineers and give this game the budget that it deserves. I think that would have been a really good point to end this on. Not just we'll leave the light on like a Motel 6. I want to know that you're actually like putting resources into the game.
Here's something. Okay, so two things. One, did you match the font specifically for this?
No, I tried to though.
Okay, and then
you do need to remember what I do for a living now. My job is font.
That is true. And then two, okay, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters here. Those could have been the final set, and they match all of the roles.
And I still didn't play any of those jobs, Joe.
Well, more people played other
stuff. And it's still like aesthetics we already have. Like, damn, black mage and white mage robes. We don't have any of those. You know what I mean? Like,
not at all.
Meh.
Dude, yeah. I guarantee
it would have been nice to have a nod to the condom cap, though.
Yeah.
Dedicated engineers and pump out some decent content, people would come back.
Oh, 100%.
If they build it, they will come.
It's weird. It's this weird feeling that I don't think anyone outside of the 11 dev team wants this game to be on. Like I think so much of Square Enix wrote this game off a decade ago, and it's like there's like this little there's this little team that's just like still there hanging on, and they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm like,
making money on this thing.
Yeah,
we can't shut down now.
And they closed.
People are coming back.
They closed 4 servers, and that's over the span of an entire year. That's 12 months. Like people want to play this game. Like you guys need to give it a little more. Like then, like it deserves a dedicated engineer, not just like, hey, like hopefully Bob the engineer, who's like the only guy that knows like PS2 source code or something. We have to wait until he's not working on a project so we can borrow him for. I think we can maybe get him for 3 days, and hopefully that's enough time to like go through and find out whatever we need to do. Like it's crazy when you hear about
You know what I wonder? I wonder, like, so if they keep closing servers, I wonder if like population still keeps going up, if they would ever actually be open to the idea of like, hey, this is a fresh server, it's expansion locked, it's still like the modern mechanics of things, how they are now. But it's like this thing that's here, fresh server, COP is the last expansion, but it's still all of the quality of life stuff that's here now.
I don't think they have a team big enough to be able to do that.
But it's just like limiting access to a certain thing.
I get it. I think a server like that would be popular right? I mean, WoW Classic took off, right?
Mhm.
But I don't know if, however they do their updates, right, how things are cataloged and kept track of and stuff. I don't know if I mean, even when they did WoW Classic, there was a lot of having to go back and.
Right, but WoW Classic was recreating all of the mechanics from when, like, in 2003,
Yeah.
from whatever game it was then. I'm talking about, like, just leaving 11 as it is right now, with the same speed, the same, like, whatever, but, like, no trust, and just limiting, like, the expansion to, like, COP, fresh server, go have fun.
Yeah,
Like, keeping basically everything the same.
I
wonder, like, is there a way to, like, so... Is the only way 11 is sold now? Is that only sold in like the collector edition now?
Yeah,
like
you only can buy the Seekers edition. Yeah, so you get everything in one package. Yeah. And I think at this point you just have to remember that there's like 10 people working on this game, and they're also like, if they need to do their like monthly ambuscade rotation, and they're working on like maybe starting an entirely new story with adding new zones. So I don't think anything like that for the server stuff is. Just I don't think it's feasible for their shoestring budget. I mean, when they talked about doing the Resurgence storyline, that was basically a result of them like setting aside their allowance for like a year and a half. Like they would basically they had their budget and they had to like save a little bit up each month to be able to then invest in the resources to get that done. Like this game is not funded as well as it should be, if it's even funded at all at this point.
Maybe the influx of new players will change their mind, though.
I think, and I think it is. I think it is. Whether whatever bar that rises up to, though, I think is remains to be seen at this point. But they're working on some stuff, and at some point we'll see what they end up doing. But yeah, so that's the raid. Let's go ahead here. We wanted to bring back a segment. I think it's funny. We were talking about this. I'm like, did we ever do this? And I think at least once. But we want to bring back the Gospel of Brady. There is a wealth of knowledge out there for Final Fantasy XI, and probably the Bible of them. The most rich, accurate information can be found in the 2003 and 2004 Brady Games Guide for Final Fantasy XI. So we wanted to take a few moments here and read off some of our favorite passages.
All right, so I'll go first. I will invoke Brady Guide 2003, page 5, verse 2. Says 20 years ago. This is apropos.
Aww.
20 years ago, the forces of darkness came together to threaten the lives of all free people.
And that was Pet Food Alpha episode 1.
Yeah, that's actually just the summary of episode 1.
Funnily enough, my Brady Guide does not include page 5 because I lost the cover in some of the first couple of pages like years ago. So mine starts at page 9.
I had a Brady Guide. I lost the
pages
back.
Are sticking together, and I'm just sitting here like.
Is it like the Mithra pages that are stuck together?
Gross.
I never noticed this.
I might have spilled coffee on it.
You're gross. Oh, gross.
Did you guys ever realize that if you go to Norg, there's a couple of rooms that are like little hammocks or like little bunk beds for like the ninjas, and there's a picture of the Mithra like bent over, like from the character creation on the wall?
No.
Yeah, no, that's a thing. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Right, go to Norg.
If for no other reason, I'll have to go back to the game and find that.
Yeah, same.
So one from me here, page 18, the 2003 edition, emotes that are used with the motion subcommand will make the animation for their emote without it being displayed on people's text bars. This could be even more effective for serious role-playing.
Oh, good God.
Serious role-playing.
Look, if you never spammed psych behind somebody, you've never played Final Fantasy XI, right?
Like I definitely never had my husband's character.
Serious role thing.
As a Tarun doing the /welcome motion, you're just humping everything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Humping everybody's legs.
They really needed to add like a shake leg emote so you could like get the Taru off the leg, just like come on.
Aww.
Was Oshi a Taru? I don't really remember.
Oh, she was a Hume, just like I was.
She was
Okay.
the bald Hume.
Was I the only Taru
No.
in like this
No?
No,
ragtag
he
group
wasn't.
of
He
whatever?
actually had hair.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're thinking of Oshi now. Yes, Oshi now is bald.
Wow. I
RL Oshi.
was trying to think
For
back
both
to
the
the
Codex and
days
14.
of popping potion tanks before going into salvage. I'm like, what did Oshi look like? As they continually grabbed their ass and summoned potions.
Very reminiscent of your like average Hume from like the Final Fantasy XI like collector's art or whatever, or your advertisements and stuff. Because I was the average here. I wanted to look like Yuna from Final Fantasy X.
That's fair.
Because you have taste. Yes,
my
absolutely.
Hume was designed because he was the one that looked closest to Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai.
I love how close your design is from your Fusionx then is to your Fusionx.
I mean, it's literally the same one. Like,
I think it's hilarious.
They designed it that way.
I have been trying to make my Final Fantasy XI character in 14. I did very well with my old Taru, and she has a personality of her own, and I love that Lalafell to death. I could not get my Hume right though.
I mean, I still remember Tanaka when they announced 14. He's like, yeah, we thought about adding a door in your Mog house that would just take you to Eorzea, but it was too technically complicated. Can you imagine? You walk through a door, it just opens up an entirely different client.
I mean, maybe 11's a reflection. Who knows?
No, it's not.
Oh,
Don't
geez.
say that. No, we're not getting into this. It is not.
No,
it is
stop.
not. Vana'diel already has copies of itself. You can't have a reflection that has
God.
reflections. I made a graph. I made a map.
I remember you were texting me about it.
Map of what?
It was a pretty complicated map, also.
Of all the different
things.
It was all the different.
As
Yeah, it was a map of all the different versions of Vana'diel, because we have Vana'diel, but then we have Abyssia, but then we also have Wings of the Goddess version of Vana'diel, which is a different one. And then there's also like one or two other reflections that are name dropped in the lore. And then we have the what was the Void Watch final zone, which is they called that like the birth of, or like the cradle of Vana'diel or something like that. Like that was like Vana'diel Prime or something, I forget. But like it's there's a lot of versions of Vana'diel.
And then Final Fantasy XIV said, screw the lore, we're just going to plop a whole bunch of stuff in a raid.
Yep.
Well, it's interesting because 14 borrows so much stuff from 11. I wonder if like 11 was ever going to explore the idea that, oh yeah, like all of these things could be rejoined. Or
well,
something.
You know, it's interesting.
Like,
I think it is probably important also to note that at this point, where 11 was in its lifespan, when 14 was also in operation, like I don't think it ever used the term reflections until then. I think in the Void Watch storyline, Kate Sith, I think, drops the reflection term.
Right.
So,
because I'm trying to remember, what year did 2.0 launch?
2012, 2013.
Okay, so that lines up with when Abyssia just ended, I think, and then Seekers would have been either coming out or in production.
Seekers was already out, I think, by the time that 2.0 launched.
Okay.
Because Seekers was part of a reaction. It was half like they might have been working it already, half 1.0 didn't do well.
Yeah.
It was like kind of that time frame where Tanaka also came out and announced like a new UI that they never pushed to live.
So that means that Void Watch was 100% done then by the time 2.0 launched.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Like we said earlier, it's probably very possible that both teams share staff and writers.
Right.
And so now that we have gotten completely off topic, because originally we were talking about the Gospel of Brady.
Pet Food Alpha's back, baby!
We would never go on a tangent.
Ken, did we get your Gospel of Brady knowledge?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I don't even think I had the Brady guy.
I was going to have music playing behind this too. It's going to get oddly interrupted.
I think there was a part where it said like picking a Mithra would make you attack faster or something, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But
that sounds right.
Yeah, it sounds completely incorrect, but
they have one more agility or something, so they attack faster.
Yeah. something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because all the races had different stats, which is something that a lot of people have forgotten.
Yeah,
except,
I mean they do in
actual
14 as
11
well.
players.
They're not weighted as heavily.
No. So, from the Gospel of Brady, page 24, are there bad times to roleplay? Of course
Depends
there
on
are.
the seriousness of it.
Of course there are, as with many things. If you wind up in a group, for whatever reason, that is bent on constant fighting without delay, there won't be much time for typing. Trying to fill such player screens with interesting anecdotes and emotes won't make things better for anyone. Role-playing parties aren't usually happy when a single player joins them and attempts to stop everyone from role-playing, or uses rude or awkward speech in general. By the same token, role-players should feel free to step out of character when around non-role-playing characters. That is really the only time when role-playing gets in the way. For almost anything else, staying in character doesn't prevent you from answering questions or being part of any discussion. Even questions about character statistics can be answered quickly and supplemented with in-character dialogues. Yes, Galka monks do have more hit points than anyone else in the land, wherever that means. I have seen them take hits that would fell a dozen taru.
I don't know why, but I have this vision in my head of like this hardcore role player group, and this guy walks up and he just starts talking, and he's like, "Hold on, I got to go take a massive deuce," and he just stands there, and then like 5 minutes later, he just goes, "Okay, I'm back," and all the role players are like, "Did bro just poop himself?" Like what?
It's so funny. All right, Joe, you're up, buddy.
Okie dokie. So this is from page 35. Role-playing, matching your races and region, Taru Taru. People who play as Taru Taru will most likely opt to be cute and friendly. Even with a name like Butcher or Mangler, it is unlikely that the intimidation factor will affect anyone. Friendly sorts may want to use the overly cutesy-wootsy speech that is so common in winters, parentheses, doubly so if they choose that city for their home. Greetings of, quote, hello, hello, and please don't smashy-washy my little head are perfectly normal, at least for Taru Taru.
We are now in 2026,
Lord.
and after having watched The Boys, imagining a Taru Taru named Butcher is wild.
Like, you have to imagine the Brady Guide was this. There was a 2002 version and a 2003 version, right?
It was,
I think it was 3
and 4, yeah.
Oh, it's 3 and 4. Okay, so 2003, like they had to have all this information together. I think they did a pretty darn good job considering when it was released in the United States.
They
or in North
really
America.
did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's some stuff that's off base a little bit.
We joke
part,
and we harp on the Brady Guide, but there's a lot of stuff in there, and they had to do a lot of research.
Of work involved in that.
I was flipping through it because both of them are on the Internet Archive, and there's a whole section, I think, like in the early teens, where it's like, hey, here's like what in-game like abbreviation and lingo means. And it's like, this is what kiting means. This is what tanking is, and it's like, that's really kind of cool.
Their section on emotes is like half a dozen pages of like showing images of the emotes.
That's pretty cool.
Right.
It's pretty wild. Like the cry is just like this Dark Knight sitting on the ground crying. Like it's really weird. It's kind of wild.
And I mean, not only did, I talk about the state of my Brady Guide, but I mean, not only did it go through several moves over the last 20 years, but I mean, I also used it extensively. So, I mean, as much as we like to rag on the Brady Guide, it really was useful.
I used to take my guide to school, and I'd read up on jobs and like try to decide like what I wanted to level.
You can sub Beastmaster if you want to.
If you want.
No, subbing Beastmaster. Beastmaster main for life.
Wouldn't recommend it, but you could if you wanted to. That's crazy. All right, as we kind of get near our time here, something we also wanted to mention here too. Again, 20 years we've been doing this. We wanted to go over some of our favorite moments out of those. Obviously, not 20 running years, but some of the things that we look back fondly of when we think of PFA. Stick, you want to take us away here?
Absolutely. So I spent a lot of the day today going through old clips and going through the archives, and I had a blast. And there were so many memorable moments in PFA. I particularly like Burger Sandwich.
Yeah.
Burger sandwich?
The episode
Burger sandwich.
beyond, we were doing da da dopey dope.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be dope.
We updated it, 2026 edition, right there.
Where we had Kieran on, and he was talking about how the intro to PFA sounded like Thundercats, and he proceeded to say, "We
yeah.
God.
and he was like, "Fusion, snarf,
Come on, Fusion, snarf. God, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
so good." I also came across the acapella version of Ragnarok that I did, and I was like, it was so cringe, because looking back, like, I didn't have any tools to do something like that. It was like I was trying to do Smooth McGroove before Smooth McGroove. And it was
Funny enough,
it's
Funny
so
enough, a couple years ago, I actually was listening to that version of Ragnarok, and I had tears in my eyes. I'm like, "Oh my god, I miss my friend."
You have to remember, like, when we started this, it was still when you had to explain to somebody what a podcast was.
right.
Yes.
Exactly.
I do a podcast. What's a podcast?
So I have a little bit of a story time. I don't want to take up too much time, but a while back, years and years ago, I was at this job. I was doing this job in a call center, and I met somebody there, and in our sorrow, because that job sucked, we were just talking about video games, and I found out he played 11, and I was like, "Oh, cool. You ever listen to any podcasts?" He's like, "Yeah, I listen to Pet Food Alpha." I'm like, "No shit, huh?" I was like, I'm Steak from Pet. He's like, "No, stop it. Stop it." Like, in real life? Yes.
In real life.
We're still friends, and I was the best man at his wedding.
That's
Wow.
incredible.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I got.
That's crazy.
Over to you, sir.
We do have one clip I want to play here for you. I know Chin, and I think all of us, really. This is probably one of the most remembered bits from the archive here. Let me go ahead and we'll play this real quick here.
I was leveling my white mage like a week ago, and
Oh my god.
had to feed the baby. So I got the baby in my arms, and I'm trying to pull off macros, and I can't, because I have, like,
baby
2
in your
hands, and I have a baby in my arms. So what I did was, I have an empty drawer, a little pencil drawer right here, at my desk, and so I put a blanket in there, and like a little, I made a little comfy spot, and so I put the baby down here with one arm, and I'm holding the bottle, and I can still have one hand to come up here and do macros. And so, and I control my character with my mouse, so like I can do everything I need to do with one hand.
So you put your baby in a drawer?
Yes, I put the baby in a drawer. It was ingenious, though. I have to reiterate that the baby was comfortable.
In a drawer. Did you shut the drawer, Steak?
No.
I have to reiterate, the baby was comfortable.
Yeah, I made a little nest in the drawer. For the
Man.
baby.
I got a question.
And
Steve.
then years later, when I was pregnant with my little one, Fusion made a babies and drawers joke in the gift that he sent for us.
It's a rite of passage at that point.
Yeah, just remember, don't put your baby in a drawer.
Yeah.
Or do. Or do. Or do.
As long as it.
That Q2's got to get off somehow. Baby, drawer. All two.
Dick, I got a question for you. Does the baby in drawer know that they are technically internet famous?
Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Mom couldn't be prouder.
Amazing.
Aww.
Gosh.
The baby in the drawer is 19 years old, going on 20.
God, we're old.
Seriously.
Man,
Yeah, and
Baby in
has
Drawer is
old-
almost old enough to drink.
Baby in the Drawer is almost old enough to drink.
That is wild.
He just went up to Canada, where he was old enough to drink,
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow.
but he didn't.
We had that little saving grace where it's like not quite old enough. We still have our youth. We're still the they went to Canada. Well, yeah, there it go. There it is. All right. Well,
Yeah.
we just become one with the dirt. I think for me, one of my favorite moments. I had a friend that was teaching 8th grade history for a while, and he had some of his students staying after class for working on whatever and listening to music on their iPods, which was a thing back in the day. And one of these kids just starts laughing, and so he gets up and he goes over. He's like, "What are you listening to?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm listening to this podcast. It's called Pet Food Alpha." And my friend looks at his student and he goes, "I can't believe you'd listen to that crap." And the kid looks back. He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I know Fusion." And the kid was like, "Whoa!" It's small world stuff like that.
I
That
love
it
the
just,
small stuff.
it blows my mind. I mean, even as recently as the last Final Fantasy Fan Fest back in end of April, I think it was. I had a couple people come up to me and mention that they listened to PFA, and that it inspired them to like get into podcasting or some kind of content creation and stuff. And that is wild to hear like 20 years later.
That's awesome.
Another one of my favorite memories. We do have a clip for this as well. I'll just go ahead and play it.
Do it.
I don't know what that was in the background there.
That
man.
was my mom.
Word. What's up to Fusion's mom?
Yeah, thanks,
dude?
Mom. I'm not trying to do anything of any great importance.
Oh
Maybe-
wow.
Maybe I'll Mom, I'm trying to record. Oh man.
Wow.
So
Dude, you're putting that at the beginning of the show.
yes, I am. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
The joys of living at home.
So funny. Classic moment. All right.
Chin, what do you got for us? We have Babies in Drawers, obviously, is the
Yeah.
The big
I
one
remember kicking the can. I just remember laughing so much and having so much fun. And I don't know. I miss you guys.
the amount of just utter bullshit that we would spew.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. And I remember the Fan Fest. We went to Cali. You guys remember that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We finally met each other all for the first time. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And
I
I just
remember-
remember like people. I remember people coming up to us then, and so I wish like I had the confidence I had.
I remember,
now.
I remember we had
so
an-
much more fun.
there was an email I found while looking around where like people are like, Fusion's way too serious. And I remember this memory of FanFest, I think it was 2008, where we were all there, and Steak went out drinking with the EU premiere site people, with like, what was it, like Sven, I think, from like the
Yeah, and
like
he was throwing up so loudly it
one of
woke
the
me
German
up.
community sites, and I remember telling him like have fun, but dude, like we are here to do a job, right? So like don't overdo it. And I go to Chin and Steak were sharing a room, and I go to the room the next morning to meet him. Steak is like passed out in the bathroom, and like a minute after I walk into the room, you just hear like out of the bathroom. I'm like, come on, really? Like really?
Yeah, I got schmasted. They gave
It
us.
happens.
They were
But
free
Chin
drinks.
told that story so well when she was recounting your guys' time in FanFest. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That was one of the most fun experiences of my entire life.
Yeah, no, that was a good time.
Bound down to the praying to the porcelain god.
No. Well, yeah.
Not that part.
Yeah, you remember we were yelling "GU nut" for like an hour and a half?
God.
But no, honestly, like meeting fans of the show and meeting the guys
And each
from
other.
Anchor-
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I
it
met
was
a bunch of like Link Shell buddies while we were there. Like it was so cool.
It was awesome. All right, Squig, you're up.
We just came up with so much crazy stuff, and that was the thing that I think was the most funny part of it. But a lot of it had to like revolve around what was going on in the background that none of us could see, but we just kind of had family life going on. So I think it was one of Steak's kids got into something, and suddenly in the middle of the podcast you hear, "Don't squeeze it!"
Yeah, it's funny. I don't have the clip, but I found it right before we were recording as we were getting ready to go over stuff. I have the Beast Meter clip. But
yes.
It was the end of an episode, and Steak's kid came up with I think he called it like puffy paint or like shirt paint or something.
Yeah, like puff paint or something.
Yeah, couldn't open it, so they just kept squeezing it, and it just popped and got all over Steak.
That was my wife that did that.
Your wife? Okay, yeah, and it was like right at the end of an episode too. So like we're wrapping up
right at the end,
and you just hear him, no, don't squeeze it, and you just hear this, and he just.
Top of that thing.
Eventually, that ended up in a remix of our intro.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, the "Don't Squeeze It" intro. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll tell you what.
Another thing, I wish you could go back and just listen to all of those. Those were like some of the intros and the remixes, and we had like some of those like best of episodes that were so funny.
Dude, Chin, I'm gonna send you some clips.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, to make up for not having the clip.
Hold on one second. I remember also Chin was having a hard time none of us did pronunciation very well, but it was like vinegaroon, and so he called them vinegar sauce.
Vinegar sauce.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you're not calling like things in Final Fantasy MMOs like something completely different than what the text actually says, you're not playing the game, right?
That's true.
So ironically, I ran into that monster in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm like, look, there's vinegar sauce.
It's vinegar sauce.
It does exist.
I'll tell you what, to make up for not having the "Don't Squeeze It" clip, I will find that intro, and that'll be our outro.
Yes.
For this, so you'll get to hear that whole thing. We do have one clip for you, Squig. This is the Beast Meter clip. I'll go ahead and play this.
25 folks need to kill certain stuff, and that probably makes it hard on solo Beastmasters too.
Mm-hmm.
Beast
At least
Mater.
Solo if he goes and does pets. That's
Beast
what I did.
Mater Beaster.
In any event.
Mater. Beast-mater, Beaster. I got a Beast-mater stuck in my throat. No one else gets that.
Beaster Mater. Got a chicken bone stuck in my throat.
What you got there?
What you got there?
When I was little, we used to play a buck.
Oh,
Pokemon. Oh, speaking of.
Wow.
Oh, when we could joke about Bill Cosby.
What a time. What a time.
Yeah, there was a pudding pop joke somewhere, and
Some references age better than others.
Yeah, but I just remember that the podcast always seemed to get longer and longer because we would come up with crazy stuff, and then it would end up sticking in our minds for like the rest of our lives.
Yep.
I love you guys.
You can never unhear it. Yeah. The brain worm is real.
Oh my goodness. All right,
Joe.
So I've got two. One of them is obvious that we already heard. The other, I think it was one of the last recordings that might have been like the five of us together. But Fusion was reading an email from somebody whose name I won't mention here. And it had a lot of really flowery language in it. And Shin was just doing common, like it was
Eloquent.
Yes, eloquent. To like a point where it's like I'm being like complimentary here, but it was very detailed, almost like it was in character that they were sending this email to the podcast. And Shin was doing commentary in Skype. And I remember that Squig and I just couldn't
That's why
stop
Skype got
laughing.
shut down.
100%. It's our fault.
Yeah.
But But no, we were cry laughing, and Fusion was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because he wasn't looking at the chat; he was reading the email at the time, and then I think he just ended the recording at that point. It was.
Yes, we did piss you off a lot, and I am so grateful for your patience.
100%.
We had a lot of fun, and I am.
Look, I mean, that email that we got all those years ago wasn't wrong. I was the serious, uptight one.
Yeah.
But you know what? Somebody had to help steer the ship.
No, you're 100%.
I was about to
right,
say that. Yeah.
No, this ship just goes in circles.
Well, it's kind of like the theory of like, you know how there's like Chaos Muppets and Order Muppets. Fusion is the Order Muppet in a group of 5 or like 4 other Chaos Muppets.
You're a
Like he's the,
wait.
he's
So
the
somebody
Kermit
has their
Tower
hand up
animals.
my.
Whoa.
Buy me the
Hey,
number.
what you do on a Saturday is your business.
I'm just trying to understand what this Muppet thing is. Is it like a stick and
Have you
string
never,
thing?
wait, hang on. Have you never heard of Muppet Theory?
No.
Okay, so there's Chaos Muppets and Order Muppets. Order Muppets. Think of like Kermit, Fozzie Bear, the Eagle. Chaos Muppets being like Gonzo, Animal, Pepe the Shrimp. I don't remember his name. Pepe the Shrimp.
I think I understand now. Yeah, I understand now. Okay.
Like you are Kermit in a room full of animals or Gonzos.
That poor man just wants to run the show.
Exactly.
Pet food alpha.
God.
Fusion's the old guy, the old dad guy in the front, trying to steer the car to the vacation, yelling at us, "Don't make me turn this podcast around."
100%.
Kids, keep it down. Put your seatbelt on.
Okay, Kermit, whatever you say, man.
If you had to use the bathroom, you should have said before we left. I'm not pulling over.
Rothelberg just got a new
that's why the
nickname.
podcast is so full of piss.
Oh,
Ew,
Oh man,
that's disgusting.
and then the other.
Yeah, let's just we got this clip. Let me pull this up here.
Kick or spit on Squigglicious, I would, in order to purchase anything. Oh God! Ow!
I think he fell over in his chair. Yeah, that's what it was. He's like the asshole kid in like class that leans back in their chair. And the teacher's like, "You're gonna fall over."
Somebody make it a note.
Okay,
Someone make a note somewhere. That's going in like the next PFA greatest moments.
Did you really just fall backwards?
Joe falls out.
Did you break anything?
No.
Wait.
Like I don't care about bones. I mean like your headset.
No, my iPod looks okay. I think it landed on that.
Okay.
Oh God, that was awesome.
And look at you now.
That's Joe.
Yeah.
You've grown so much. I'm so proud of
I
you.
love that. I really don't care about how you are physically. I just want to make sure you didn't break any of your stuff. That was heartfelt.
Yep.
Gosh.
Oh man.
What a journey we've had.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. I'm glad we get the opportunity to do this. I've been
You know
looking
what's
forward to
awesome?
it since we talked about it.
Awesome is that every episode of PFA is still up there. You can go and listen to each and every one. I love it.
Once it's on the internet.
It's all there for better or worse.
Yeah. Even the Ragnarok thing that we're not going to talk about.
Should I just outro with that?
And the Grinch thing.
And the Grinch thing and the Fresh Prince thing.
Oh my God, the Fresh Prince one.
Steak
I'd
was
forgotten
working
about
on
that one.
an entire album back in the day.
That's true. Yeah. Yes, indeed. All right, guys. Well, that's 20 years, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It was
Seeing another 20.
Yeah.
always, yeah.
I hope not. I hope not.
Jesus.
Sooner, right?
I mean,
Not
at that
easy to
point,
do.
Wait,
somebody
just said,
might.
I hope y'all die. What the fuck's right?
No, I'm saying I hope it's earlier than 20 because in 40 years we might all be dead.
Well, I think we might.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm gonna live forever,
20
so I don't know
years
you
from
guys.
now, we'll all be in the same old folks home.
Oh, I hope so.
I feel really sorry for the workers that are going to be working that old folks home because let me
100%.
tell you.
All these
We'll set
people
up
want are
garden
burger
parties.
sandwiches and cheese sandwiches. I don't understand.
Burger sandwich.
What is their diet?
Burger sandwich, burger.
Burger sandwich.
Has anybody found where you find this vinegar sauce?
God.
King vinegar sauce.
He's got helmets.
All right.
I gotta
so
say, I'm pretty impressed with us. We stayed on task way more than I thought we would. Like, so just props to us.
this is like pretty on.
That's
brand.
just called getting old, and it's like 8 o'clock on a Saturday, and I'm like, why am I not in bed? What is
Because
wrong
you like
with me?
us. That's
Take your
why.
That's very true.
Take your ibuprofen.
Ironically, I go to
Exact-
work right after this is done, so I'm just like,
Grab
oh,
your bottle of
let's not do this
Flintstones.
anytime
Take your
soon.
Flintstones vitamins.
Yeah, I do take vitamins. Good.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up here. Before we end, and I forgot to put this on the outline, so excuse my my forgetfulness. Does anybody want to mention where they, if they have a online presence and they wish to be found? Do you want to? Anybody want to list their up to date contact info?
Sure.
This might be more of a me thing. I don't, this is just kind of old habits for me at this point, but
Unfortunately, I don't have my stuff put together yet. I'm working on a new blog, specifically dealing with my journey as a veteran that's trying to, get used to civilian life and why I can't. But at some point, I'll put some information out on it. But it's still a work in progress.
Cool.
But if you're in Final Fantasy XIV and you run into Squig Sunstrider on Marilith or Squigglicious on Rafflesia, feel free to say hello. Give me a friend invite.
Nice.
Right on.
A friend of mine actually did just drown Rafflesia, so I might bother you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just make sure you tell me who you are, please.
Oh, you'll know. You'll know.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you can find me on all platforms as Shut Up Joe, SHADUPJOE. Got to thank this podcast for that nickname. And I occasionally stream on Twitch, same name, but hasn't happened in a while. So if you like me, which why would you? Find me there.
Yeah, this show does have a habit of that. I'm Raffledurg on everything. ROFLDRG. Raffledurg X on YouTube. Funny enough, I still remember vaguely we had an email written into the show about how somebody went around and grabbed the socials and stuff as Raffledurg because they thought it was really funny. That person still has the YouTube handle. So I'm Raffledurg X. At one point they gave it up on Twitter and I snatched it, but I don't use Twitter anymore. But I'm on Blue Sky and I'm on Twitch. Sometimes I stream on Twitch, but I'm also on the Gamerscape Discord, discord.gg/Gamerscape. Still doing 8th Right Radio, and you can find me there.
On Discord, Take 42. You can find me there. I have the Winders flag as my emblem. Can't miss it.
Then that's it.
And that's
I
it.
don't even know what my name is on Discord. I'm not on anything else.
What my name is in
I'm
real-
on LinkedIn working. That's about it.
Also,
old and
I am
sad now.
I am also Squigglicious on Discord. I have a container of salt as my picture, as a reference to me being a salty veteran.
Yes.
I am Shut Up Joe on Discord.
and I think
with the
mine's
Pikachu saying bitch
Chinchilla.
please.
Please.
What was that? Chinchilla 69420.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you off.
No, I think it's 3358 if I open the thing.
Yeah,
It's just
Chilla.
Chilla.
It's
There you
Chilla
go.
3358.
All right, and that's gonna do
All right.
it for us.
Thank you so much for tuning in. This was a pleasure.
Yes,
thank you to
was.
all the supporters too.
Over the years, this is crazy. 20, how many podcasts can say that? I mean, obviously we may have taken a 13-year break, right? But how many podcasts can say that they, have episodes that span 20 years? That's nuts.
Maybe not many.
That's huge.
I don't probably
Probably
not many.
none. Probably none. I'm gonna go with none. You think it's none? Steak, you with me? None.
None. All right, we'll say none.
None. Yeah, we
But
said none.
someone's gonna correct me and be like, "There's a book."
I would guess we're at least top in a group of at least 100. We're top 100
Yeah.
longest. running.
Because it
things.
would be
if
nice
they
to
do-
call the Guinness Book of World Records people. And
I want a plaque. Yeah,
get that record. Yeah, get that plaque.
Actually, yeah. Let's do that. That if we actually are able to get like a plaque or something, that's the next episode.
21st year anniversary. Yeah, we'll grab the
Yeah.
Guinness World Record.
Yeah.
God.
I'm petty enough. I'll do it.
That's true.
All right, guys. Say goodnight, Chin.
Good night,
Good night,
Jen.
Jim.
My name is Steak.
My name is Fusionx.
Chinchilla.
Squigglicious.
All right, and we are
That was in
done.
one of the episodes that
It was,
we ended
yeah.
with good night, Jen. Good night, Jen.
There wasn't a really good place for it, but I did have one of these queued up. Where is it? Hold on.
I'll think of something. I always do.
It's Krang.
It's Krang.
Yeah.
The one time I used a soundboard and the episode didn't record, so we had to re-record it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is this the point for Fusion where you're going to say, "Oh crap, I wasn't recording the whole time"?
No, I was recording. I got it.
Just making sure because you've done that before.
Get all the latest Final Fantasy XI news, community, and more.